Hello. Welcome to another campfire. We're on YouTube and Twitch today playing Willy Morgan, and the Curse of Bone Town. Let's go ahead and continue. Last we left off, we were in the inn, and the inn is hunting us, and us little naive us is not aware of this. God, I already forgot how do you open your inventory. It's not the usuals. Okay, I for inventory. Gotcha. We have aftershave, room 10 key, the letter, and do not disturb sign.
You hang this outside your hotel room to note that you don't want to be disturbed. Unless further surprises arise, I should be able to open room 10. It has an animalistic fragrance. Not nice, but bearable.
Alrighty then.
It's locked. I have no idea how to use a quill. I can hardly write even with a normal ballpoint pen. The last pages are blank. Well, the whole book is blank, actually. Better leave it here. Other travelers might need it.
Oh, kind of.
I'd rather wait for daylight, or at least the moon to become brighter. I can't go back. First of all, it's night, and I don't want to walk all the way. There are tons of options. Beer, more beer, grog, more grog. I can also try the house specialty, beer and grog. Not to be confused with grog and beer, a useless and tasteless beverage. Behind that door is the orderly's room. It looks like a rudimentary room bell. A fireplace of great workmanship. It's summer. It doesn't make any sense to heat up an already warm room. A fireplace of great...
it wasn't my tired self that was stuck.
I guess it leads outside, but right now I have other priorities. Better not. Better not waste it. I saw the stain in the hallway.
You have very good eyesight. It blends well with the rest of the upholstery.
Well...
I'm waiting for the cleaning lady to use her expertise to remove that. I'd like to have a touch of freshness in the air when it's done.
I expect that won't be easy. Thanks, and goodbye.
What if... Can I...
Better not waste it.
No.
Better not. Better not. I'd rather not touch that substance. Better not waste it. Better not waste... Better not waste...
Okay. Sorry to bother your keg shining.
The fireplace in the room is very nice.
It's one of the many points of pride at the Dead Man Inn. There's one in every room, hand-built by one of my ancestors, brick by brick.
Can you repeat how the room service works?
When the customers call, it is the duty of every good innkeeper to answer. I try to be as fast as possible so as to not leave my position untended. If you don't see me at the counter, it's because some impediment forced me to use the back door. There are a lot of steps to get there. Going down is not a problem and speeds up my movement, but climbing really slows me down.
Thanks, that seems clear to me.
Okay.
Thanks, and
So
goodbye.
we have to get him to somehow...
I wonder when the cleaning lady is going to fix this disaster. Actually, I wonder when I last saw the cleaning lady. I don't think I've seen her at work since our discussion about the hourly rate. I'm sure she'll come back. Nobody can refuse $1 per hour. Better check what's happening in room number 10. Can I help you?
I'm testing the room service. Excellent.
Also,
Cordial as usual.
if there's nothing else...
Everything's okay.
Okay.
Better not. I can't. This lock is pretty solid.
I just wanted you to use the door. Jeez.
Today's special. Pigeon pudding drowned in grog. Hardtack and fat fried in grog. Grog cake? It looks like a diet rich with fiber and carbs. Better leave it for the next customer. Unless further surprise. I have no idea. The last page is, well... It's the key to room 09, the one indicated on my father's letter. I absolutely have to take it. I could pick all the weeds and try to fix it, but I'm not here for that reason. I have vague memories from when I was a child, but I don't think the fountain was in this condition. I remember my father told me the city was built around this place, because a source of fresh water spilled out of here. Now the city seems to be letting itself go. It's a poster for the Lafitte Amusement Park, the most prestigious amusement park in Bonetown. I stand corrected. The only amusement park in Bonetown. Grand opening October 29, 1915. By now, it's probably the only abandoned amusement park in Bonetown.
I mean, if it's the only one, it's the greatest one.
Let's see if I can. Done.
Okay.
This sign is useless now. I'd rather not take it with me.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb, but alright.
The things I have to do. Let's just hope it doesn't spill. I wouldn't really know what to use to get rid of this stink.
In the bag you go.
Very good. It looks like the cleaning has finally started. Just how I pictured it.
Alright, what else we got in here? Alright, now I'll go ahead and do this.
I see someone's been busy, but I can't smell the usual fresh scent. That means the job isn't finished yet, and I can go through. Better check what's happening.
What?
Number 10.
What?
Can I help you?
I'm excellent.
Also,
Cordial.
if there's
Everything's...
Why does it mean he can go through if the job's not done? Because it doesn't matter how
Now
dirty it
something
gets?
classy. The contents haven't changed, but now there's a fresh musk ox scent.
agile and silent like a ninja. I didn't even realize the cleaning lady finally got to work. Better not walk across it. I'd risk ruining this beautiful work. Oh, she also added the essence of muskox. My favorite. I'll go around the back. That guy's gonna have to wait for a second.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming. Better go check the entrance.
You better wait for a second, or else.
This is my chance.
Swipe.
Let's hope there won't be any other obstacles. At last!
Oh, there will be.
I don't trust taking them. There's the chance they could have been eaten by mice, the owner of the place, or the cleaning lady. In any of the 3 cases, I don't want to take them with me. Everything starts there, in the warmth of a friendly place. I think my father meant warmth in a literal sense. Perhaps he hid something in the fireplace. Let's try searching there. What is this? This brick doesn't seem to be bonded to the fireplace like all the others, but I can't rip it out. It seems after all these years it is partially calcified back into the fireplace. I need something to grab hold of the cracks.
Now that's a fancy bathroom.
Tough luck. Fate really doesn't want me to take a shower or a bath. I don't need it right now. Look what's inside. Somebody forgot a nail file. Better take it. It could come in handy. It seems to be working. I can take out the mortar holding the brick. Clever, a niche. Let's see what's inside. It looks like an old library card. It belonged to my father, Henry Morgan. Last read book, Properties of Concrete. What did my father want to tell me? That doesn't seem like a good idea. If the owner finds out I entered room 09, I don't think he'll be happy. If anything happens to me, the Dead Man Inn has no insurance to cover the damages. In this room, they seem to have taken one step ahead in technology. No rope to pull. They're apple cores. They really leave much to be desired as a welcome gift. After this amazing night, it'd be better to go back to my room and rest. First, I'd rather take the key to room 09 back to reception. I'd prefer to avoid having problems with the innkeeper. I have a really big day ahead of me tomorrow. I think the time has come to find out what Dad was working on. I better check the library card again. I'm sure Dad left me some other clue. It's a card for the Bonetown Library. The card belongs to Henry Morgan, my father. Properties of Concrete. What was he working on in his final research? Better go to the library to make some inquiries. Good morning, good sir.
Good morning. How was your night?
There were moments I thought I wouldn't survive. Then I saw a ray of light and realized that the worst was over.
These are just some of the thrills you can experience here at the Dead Man Inn.
What happened to Bonetown in the last few years? I remember when I used to come here that it was a nice little town.
I think it's just progress. The young prefer to go try their luck elsewhere, apart from a few exceptions. It's just down to us from the older generation to keep up the honor of Bonetown by welcoming the incoming tourists with love and professionalism.
I'd have to dispute that, actually. Is the public library still there?
Sure, boy. It's one of the crown jewels of Bonetown. At least it is according to what Margaret, our librarian, tells us. I'm simply reporting what's said because I personally never go to such places.
Strange. I would have bet the opposite. Could you tell me where it is?
Turn left at the main square, just outside the door. Boy, if you don't want to get lost, use this. It's an old Bonetown postcard, but it was used as a tourist map during the golden years. It could be of use to orient yourself and move around Bonetown.
Aye, for somebody who's working against
Thank
me,
you.
you're being
Are you
helpful.
interested in something in particular?
Just to reminisce a little bit. My father used to take me there all the time. Thanks, and goodbye. Better leave the key here. I don't know if I'll want to avail myself of this service again tonight. There you go. Now I can leave.
Really?
Good morning.
Good morning. How can I help you?
I need to consult one of your tomes.
It's always a pleasure when someone wants to benefit from the services offered by our library. What are you looking for?
Properties of concrete.
Oh, what a surprise! It's not among the more popular in Bonetown. I guess this is the second consultation in more than 10 years.
Doesn't it get the attention it deserves?
Here in Bonetown, people don't read a lot, especially a book like that. I could never have managed to face it either.
Where can I find it?
I guess it's somewhere on the upper floor. You should recognize it easily.
Thank you. What happened to Bonetown in the last few years?
The city has always held more allure, at the expense of the small villages, and Bonetown is no exception. All the young people left when they had the chance, leaving the town in its current sorry state. It seems you know our town well, although you're so young. Can I ask your name?
Of course. I'm Willy Morgan.
I'm Margaret Teach. But for those who attend the library, I'm just Margaret. Once there was a Morgan here in Bonetown, too. Then he left, seeking fortune, and he became famous. But he never stopped coming back to visit Bonetown. I don't think you know him.
You mean Henry Morgan by any chance?
You surprise me, and that doesn't happen often.
The point is, I know him very well. Henry was my father.
I'm sorry, kid, I didn't know.
Don't worry, it's been a while.
10 years ago, right?
How do you know that?
Kid, I'm the librarian. I basically remember everything that is put on paper, and Henry used to come to our library a lot.
Do you know anything about his disappearance?
Unfortunately, only what I've read about. One night he was here in Bonetown. The morning after, it's like he vanished into thin air. Not a clue, not a trace. No letters or anything that could have guided the search parties to a solution.
Do you know what he was working on in his final research?
I don't know. He always read a lot, basically all the tomes you can find in here. And sometimes, at his request, I had to order books from other cities as well.
Do you know if he had enemies, maybe?
Henry? Let's be serious. I think there were very few men as affable as him.
Thanks for the information.
Don't mention it. If I can be of any more help, just ask.
Thanks, and goodbye.
Thank you for visiting the Bonetown Library. If you need a specific book, you can ask me, Miss Teach, or just Margaret.
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. This lock is peculiar to say the least. I'm pretty sure that I'd need a special key if I wanted to open it.
Special key.
How? Should I remove everything on top of it? There's no time. And above all, I wouldn't know where to put all these books. On this desk, there are books of every kind, from how to build a cuckoo clock to anchovy fishing for newbies. It's the famous book, Properties of Concrete, the last book read by my father. It's stuck under the huge number of books on the desk. I must find a way to free it. I need to consult one of your tomes.
It's always a pleasure when someone... What are you looking...
Properties of concrete.
Oh, what is the I guess this...
Doesn't it get the attention?
Here in Bonetown, people don't... I could never have managed to face it either.
Where can I find it?
I guess it's somewhere on the...
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
so
Goodbye.
Thank you for
no
visiting the
mention
Bonetown
of there's a
Library.
problem.
If you need a specific book,
Interesting.
you can ask me, Miss Teach, or just Margaret.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind. I don't need it. It looks new. At first glance, there seem to be different tomes, some of which have considerable value too. I wonder why they're out here. I don't want to take anything from here. It's still material in the public domain. It's one of those old message boards on which they hung the wanted posters. Here in Bonetown, time seems to have stopped. There are still posters of the gang that was raging here decades ago. The members have become famous. I recognize the posters of Rufy, Nami, and Zoro. The others are faded from exposure to bad weather. There's also a little footnote. Posters offered by the Lafitte Amusement Park.
Does that mean I can take that one poster now?
Better leave it here to remind all Bonetown tourists of the beauty of Lafitte Park.
Okay.
They're barrels filled with water. I don't think that dragging this barrel of over 100 liters would benefit me a lot. I don't think there are any books here. Even if it's battered, I think I can make out the word restaurant. It's not time to enter there yet. I need to use the clue left by my dad first. I don't know how, but I hope it might come in handy.
Oh, I know how.
Let's try. It worked! Check out what we have here. Let's see what it is. It's another letter from my father. It's dated July 22nd, 2008, earlier than the other one. There's also a piece of paper that seems more ancient, but I can't figure out what it is. Better take a look right now. If Dad did all this so that I'd find it, there must be something important. Now I understand what the piece of paper was that I found with the letter. Dad always performed great feats, but I never imagined he was looking for kids' treasure. It has always been said that it was basically a legend. I don't remember the complete story exactly, but maybe the librarian can help me. And I have a list of names. Better start asking information of the townsfolk, without attracting too much attention. I don't need my father's old library card anymore. Even if someone found it, it would be useless. I have the letter and the piece of map belonging to my dad.
Right.
It's a piece of the map belonging to Captain Kidd, but I can't do anything with it if I don't find all the other 8 pieces as well.
The other pieces of 8.
Am I wrong, or did you tell me your name is Margaret Teach?
That's correct.
Do you know a man named Charles Teach?
Your question surprises me. How do you know my great-great-grandfather?
I'm doing some research on the genealogy of Bonetown, and I stumbled upon the Teach family.
Yes, it's been several generations now since the Teaches settled in Bonetown.
What can you tell me about Charles Teach in particular?
He was the one who brought the name Teach here to Bonetown, but of his past, little is known. My great-grandma told me that he was a former fisherman with a knack for books. This library is a donation he made to the city of Bonetown just before he died. After he arrived here in Bonetown, he devoted himself exclusively to reading, and many of these books were bought directly by him. He had so many of them that he basically founded the town library, which then became the family business for the following generations too.
And he didn't leave anything else apart from the books?
All he left is stored on the upper floor, but it's mostly junk. The real treasure was his books. There's also an old crate without a key, but it looks empty.
Do you by any chance know the story of Captain William Kidd?
Sure, it is mostly a legend. In the golden era of piracy, Kidd stood out for his endeavors, if you could call them that.
The endeavors of a pirate aren't exactly heroic most of the time.
Anyway, his ship, the Adventure Galley, was supposedly filled with treasures when it suddenly disappeared. A few years later, in 1701, Kidd was captured and executed, but his ship and the crew were never found.
What do you think happened?
What always happened at that time? Kidd and his crew squandered all the loot, and to cover their tracks, they sold or even burned the ship. After this story, Kidd became legendary.
Thank you. How come all across Bonetown the gutters seem to be new?
They are new. There's been some geological instability in the last few years. We don't know yet if it's due to natural causes or human activity. In any case, the result is that Bonetown no longer has a working water network, and the only way to retrieve some water at a decent cost seems to be this one.
Whose idea was this?
Maybe the only person who really cares about the state of Bonetown, our Mayor Steve Bonnet.
What can you tell me about Steve Bonnet?
He's the only one here doing something to keep Bonetown alive. Without him, our village would be much worse off. I suggest you go visit him. He knows everything about Bonetown. If you need something specific, he'll be able to help you for sure. These days, he lives in the town hall to deal with all the city's problems, but he's always available to everyone.
Thank you. I'll visit him as soon as possible. Thanks, and goodbye.
Thank you for visiting the Bonetown Library. If you need a specific book, you can ask me, Ms. Teach, or just Margaret.
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Very strange. I have the feeling I'm being watched. Better be careful. You never know what can happen in Bonetown.
Free.
I don't think it would come in handy. Free. It looks like there was a race to the bottom for this volume. I have no time for this kind of reading right now. Prisons, the story of Tom Rayleigh. Maybe it wasn't the publishing success the author hoped. It's a book on Tom Rayleigh, prominent artist of Bonetown.
What do you think you're doing? Have you seen what is written on the envelope? It's the property of Tom Rayleigh's heirs.
But I'm one of his great-grandsons.
I'm a researcher, as well as a capable artist. Bring me concrete proof and you can have the envelope. Until then, the envelope will remain museum property.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can I do something for you? I am very busy and I'd hate to lose time.
Are you the museum janitor?
No. I'm the curator, as well as the only artist in Bonetown.
Remarkable. Busy doing what?
Oh, I don't think you'd understand. You don't look like you have an open mind like us artists.
Please, I'm very curious.
No.
Okay, I don't think it was that important anyway.
Not important? Are you kidding me? My research is, of vital importance for Bonetown and its history.
Research for peace of mind?
Funny.
What kind of research?
I'm trying to clear the name of one of the most controversial figures of Bonetown.
Who are we talking about?
Tom Rayleigh. He spent almost his whole life in here.
Was he a researcher too?
No. This was a prison once. They say that Rayleigh, because of his alcohol problems, spent most of his sober time in here.
In every town, there's a drunkard.
No. Tom wasn't a drunkard. His artistic life was very troubled. My research proved that.
Have you already done other research on Rayleigh?
Yes. You can find everything about it in the book I wrote on Rayleigh. You can take a copy if you like.
Thanks. How come you're so obsessed with Tom Rayleigh?
It's not that I'm obsessed. Tom Rayleigh was an artist, just like me. Some of the objects in here are his works. But, as with all misunderstood geniuses, he had a devil inside. Some people claim that, in the midst of a drunken stupor, he could produce his best works. But once he was sober, he destroyed those works because he deemed them not to have been done by him. And I, being a misunderstood genius myself, now want to clear his image.
If you say so. And how do you think you can do that?
I'm trying to recover all the works left by the master. And in the meantime, I'm tracing Rayleigh's great-grandsons by delivering the only thing he left here in Bonetown.
His dignity?
No.
He had no dignity, huh?
Money?
An artist with money? I don't think that's possible.
A toothbrush?
Don't joke about that. We artists are not interested in personal care.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm talking about that envelope.
What are the contents of the envelope?
I don't know. It's an official document classified by the police and kept here in the museum. It says for Rayleigh's heirs. I can't open it. It would go against my artist code of ethics.
And probably against some
Right.
laws as well.
Yes. I'm looking for Rayleigh's heirs to deliver it. So I might know what happened to Rayleigh once he left Bonetown, too.
Goodbye.
Yes. Goodbye.
There's something written. Free. Maybe it will come in handy.
Go ahead and take it. It will open both your heart and your mind. Some stickers to support Tom Rayleigh's cause are included as well. We also need your help to make this artist known.
Thanks. Prisons, the story of Tom Rayleigh. Now I know why this book is free. It seems more like a series of rambling stories instead of a serious biography. Maybe there's just one bit of plausible information. Here it says that Tom Rayleigh's past is dark. He was repeatedly put in prison in Bonetown for being drunk and disorderly. The stickers are nice, but the book is useless to me. I'd rather put this book back in its place. Probably someone else will find it more interesting.
That damn kid put the book back.
At first glance, it appears to weigh over 100 kilos. Surely working out in the gym made me stronger, but I don't think it performed any miracles.
There's a clock. This must be Town Hall.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. I'm sorry, do we know each other?
It's been a while, hasn't it, Uncle Steve?
Uncle Steve? There was only one child that called me that. It can't be. Willy. Is that really you?
Yes, Steve, it's really me, Willy Morgan.
Son, how are you? Sorry if I don't get up, but my back is killing me. Sitting here all day is bad for my health.
All good, Steve. Thank you.
Tell me, what brought you back to Bonetown? It's been years since the last time I saw you.
I've been missing Bonetown.
I can hardly believe it. Lately, nobody ever comes back to Bonetown.
For the anniversary of my dad's disappearance, it's been 10 years. I was thinking of swinging by the cemetery.
Already 10 years? Time seems to have stopped in Bonetown since then. I sought refuge in my job to forget. I don't see your mother. Does she know you're here?
I told her I was leaving. She's away on a business trip.
How is she? I tried many times to contact you in recent years, but she never answered.
It was very tough for her, too. She preferred to make a clean break from the past, concentrating on me and her job. Bonetown is a memory that still hurts a lot.
I understand.
How are things going here in Bonetown?
Not very well, I'd say. It's becoming harder and harder to run Bonetown. People leave, and the problems are constantly increasing.
You mean the lack of courtesy at the old inn?
Are you staying at the old inn? The owner seems to be grumpy and surly. But actually, all right. I'll try to talk to him at the first opportunity. I'll write it down among the many things to do. I'd let you stay here, but to deal with the city expenses, I left my old house. Now I sleep in that little room over there. It's the only way I've found to be able to run Bonetown as best as I can.
Have you ever thought of hiring someone to give you a hand?
Yes, but funds are limited, and nobody wanted to take on this responsibility.
Yes, when I got here, I had problems parking my bike.
Parking problems as well? That too must go on the list.
I saw some construction work on the buildings.
That's one of the bigger problems in the city. It seems that our water resources are drying up. Some people say that upriver, certain companies have been doing excavations that caused the fracturing of some faults. But I launched an investigation, and there's no correlation. So I'm trying to solve the problem by recovering rainwater. And at the moment, it seems to be working.
I hope so for Bonetown. Do you remember what happened to my father?
It's always painful for me to talk about Henry. We grew up almost like brothers, before he decided to leave and become one of the most famous archaeologists in the world. Despite his work, he always found the time to come back here to the family, and to meet his old friends. Unfortunately, his disappearance is still shrouded in mystery. The night before that fateful day, we went out together. We said goodbye in front of the old inn, where he was staying. The next morning, I stopped by to say hello, but there was no trace of him. His room was intact. The innkeeper said he didn't see him going out. That's all I know. Since then, I've been racking my brain to understand what happened, but Henry seems to have vanished into thin air.
Just like Mom always tells me. Do you, by any chance, know what Dad was working on?
I wouldn't know. Whenever he'd come to Bonetown, he told us fantastic stories of the places he explored. We felt like we were there with him.
Dad was always an exceptional narrator. When he told me a story before bed, I couldn't sleep right away, but instead spent a good part of the night fantasizing.
He used to do the same thing with us here in Bonetown. Everyone was enthralled by him.
See you later.
Come back whenever you want. You'll always find me here.
Thanks. I don't think that ransacking this paperwork will help me in any way. What a weird globe. It's covered in notes.
I'm sorry, I'd prefer you not touch it. There's some important notes and I don't want to lose them.
Sure. Better ask for permission. I'd risk looking like a thief. These are stamps of Bonetown. Can I borrow a stamp?
Of course, as long as you use it responsibly. Even if they're dated back, they're the official stamps of Bonetown.
Thanks, I'll use them well.
Actually, when you're finished with your stuff, you can help me out with that stamp. I have a lot of paperwork to authenticate.
Gladly. See you later.
Come back whenever you want. You'll always find me here.
Thanks. Should I smash the window and take the contents? I don't see a reason yet. It's full of every kind of bottle and vial. I don't even know if some are legal or not. It contains a lot of jelly beans. It only works with 5-cent coins.
God, he's not looking.
Good morning.
Good morning. What can I do for you?
I was just browsing.
No problem. But please don't touch anything without my permission. I've arranged everything so that it will make my work easier.
What work?
I'm developing a recipe that will make me rich. I just have to find the final ingredients.
Can I help you somehow?
Let me think. Maybe there's something you could do. I need to go to the warehouse to get some things I couldn't find anywhere else in town. But I need a specific plant that grows here in these surroundings. It's a plant with white flowers that only grows in places exposed to the sun, but also with enough moisture.
No problem. I'll see if I can pick one up and bring it to you.
No. It's extremely delicate. Any contact with the acids in human skin could ruin its essence. You should use specific instruments to pick it up and carry it. If you're willing to give me a hand, I can provide you with all you need.
All right.
Very well. Help yourself to the container and the trowel near the door. Once you've identified the plant, use the trowel to put it in the container.
I figured as much.
Thanks. It will also take me a while to find what I need in the warehouse. We'll meet back here.
All right. Can I have some candies?
Unfortunately, I have to say no. The ones you see in the shop are needed to complete the recipe I'm working on, as well as for my livelihood.
I noticed.
If you have some pocket change, there's a candy vending machine right outside the shop. You can take as much as you want. It's only 5 cents for a candy.
Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
See you soon. When you find the plant with the white flowers, make sure to be as gentle as you can.
I'll do my best. I better be going now. The owner was clearly in a great hurry to leave. I'm just noticing now that all the gutters seem brand new. It's a 3D printer. It's weird seeing something so technologically advanced here in Bonetown. They're automatic vending machines. They're automatic vending machines. I'm not thirsty. It looks like some kind of power supply, but I've never seen anything like this. Hi.
Hello. Welcome to the fabulous Bonetown U Pub.
Is this supposed to be a pub?
It is. It's a full-fledged pub. You have the opportunity to select different drinks of your choice, and it's all automated.
At first sight, it looks more like a garage with vending machines.
Details. This is the future. People don't want to waste time with chatter. They want to get straight to the point. And I offer what they want. A valid alternative to the old and worn-down Bone Town premises.
Maybe you should have invested a bit more in the interior design, like moving some tires or getting rid of the tools.
I appeal to a different clientele. A bit in the style of Dine and Dash, but more like Drink and Dash.
Well, if that is your philosophy, I'd say you've done a great job.
I know. Thank you.
How is business going in Bone Town?
I only opened this business recently, but I'm very confident. The market research I did before opening in Bone Town is very accurate. So it's just a matter of time, and then I'm sure I'll find great satisfaction.
What kind of market research?
I was passing by Bone Town when I had a car problem. I asked for help from the town mechanic. After the hike to check out my stalled car, he asked me if by any chance I had something to drink. And so the light bulb went on in my head. Ding! If people here need takeaway drinks, I'll be here to serve them.
So you just relied on the opinion of a single person who happened to be thirsty?
Exactly. I know how to read the needs of a village. It's from little things that big projects grow.
I have some serious doubts, but I wish you luck.
Thanks, but luck doesn't have anything to do with it. Intuition and precise calculations are the foundations of every solid venture.
That's right, I agree. Who's the town mechanic?
He's a very skilled local handyman. They still call him the blacksmith here. He can fix practically anything. At first I had some problems with the vending machines, and he took care of making them go again. Now he's tinkering with my car. Now that I've moved here, I don't need it anymore. Since I have no urgency to get it fixed, I told the blacksmith he could work on it during the slow times. Since then, I haven't seen him around anymore.
I understand. I noticed the new gutters in Bone Town.
I didn't. I'm not from around here. I recently opened my business, and I'm dedicating body and soul to it. I've never ventured out to take a tour of the town.
That's a shame. You don't know what you're missing. I also saw a 3D printer.
Yes, it's the latest fashion. I decided to expand my market. By offering different products in the same store, I have more chance to succeed.
Drinks and 3D printers?
I see you also grasp the symbiosis of the two things.
Of course.
I wasn't exactly paying you a compliment.
This is another of my brilliant ideas. You can use it if you want. The first time, it's free, just to encourage the customer to come back.
And many people use it here in Bone Town?
Some pass by here to see it, supposing it's an aquarium. But as soon as they recognize its potential, a universe of opportunity will open up to them.
I like your enthusiasm. I'll make good use of it too, then.
It's at your disposal when you want it.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
The blacksmith. With a ton of stuff on his roof.
There's everything imaginable here. This is the hood of some car. Let's see if there's anyone here. Too many things. I can't take them all. It's in order. They could always come in handy. It really looks like it, but I don't think it could be that very hammer. I don't know how, but it could be useful.
He's the chosen one.
Such a lovely specimen. I suppose it's here to get its horseshoes fixed. Better take them with me. You never know.
You know, sometimes he cares about theft, other times he does not.
It must weigh at least a couple of quintals. I'd rather not test my spine more than necessary. An old anvil. It still seems in good condition. It looks like a sort of water distribution system. I believe it works with gravity. I'm out for repair. Don't touch anything. It looks like the blacksmith has a lot to do.
I have touched
I don't need
everything. Wait, I haven't touched the horse yet. Hold on.
Here, horsey. It doesn't seem to be very cooperative. Maybe it needs some extra incentive. I can't believe it. Somebody brought the engine of an F-18 to get fixed. This blacksmith must be very good. It's the Bonetown Armory. It looks really massive. There are shields of all ages and for everybody's taste. A gun from the 18th century. There's also a little inscription, J. Roger. I could be wrong, but I think it's John Rogers' gun, one of Kid's crew. I need to get hold of it. Good morning.
Good morning to you, young man. Are you interested in something?
How long has this shop been running?
Basically ever since Bonetown existed. In every town there's a shop selling weapons, and Rogers is the ultimate shop in the city. We have weapons from all countries and all ages. Our centerpiece is that gun on display over there. It dates all the way back to the early 1700s. My grandpa found it hidden in his attic. It's in a perfect state of preservation.
I need weapons. Many weapons.
No problem. Here you can find as many as you want. And if you don't see something around, I can order it for you. But I need your ID and your carry permit.
I'll be back with the documents. Many documents.
I'm sure of it.
Excuse me. All these weapons are messing with my mind. I'd only like to take a look, thanks. I couldn't help but notice the gun on display.
You have a good eye, kid. It's the finest piece we have. It's an authentic weapon from the early 1700s. My grandpa found it in the attic, and since then it has always been on display here in our shop. We've done lots of research on it, but we were never able to establish provenance. We know that it dates back centuries, and it's a unique piece. It is unmatched in handling and finish. How it ended up in my grandpa's attic is currently a mystery. There's an inscription, J. Roger. We think it belonged to one of our forefathers. And in our family tree, there's nobody whose name started with a J. The first Roger to arrive here in Bonetown was Johann. But he was an Icelandic fisherman.
How much are you selling it for?
It's the only piece in the entire collection not for sale.
Why's that?
It's needed to give our shop a certain prestige. Without this, we would just be another common emporium selling weapons. Instead, many people pass through here because they know this relic is here. If I sold it, many customers wouldn't return.
I understand. I noticed that the city is being revitalized with all those new gutters.
Let's say we must make a virtue of necessity. We've got serious water problems here in Bonetown, and I would add, serious economic problems too. Our Mayor Steve is trying to tackle all these problems as best he can. I think it's a good compromise. All that shiny brass seems to beautify Bonetown, and simultaneously provides the water we need to get by.
There must be something for which you would be willing to part with that gun.
Absolutely not. There is no other weapon identical to this. You could try to find another identical one, but according to the research we did, it's a unique piece. And even if I found another one of the same value, I could never trade it. As I already told you, our patronage is based, at the end of the day, on this heirloom. That's why we installed a very sophisticated alarm system that goes off as soon as the weapon is removed.
How does the alarm system work? That's not
How does
suspicious
your
at
alarm
all.
system work?
It detects the presence, weight, and dimensions of the object. As soon as this is removed, it immediately goes off. The only chance to steal it would be to substitute the gun with another identical one. But being one of a kind, it's absolutely impossible. I'd say it's a foolproof system.
Understood.
So foolproof you feel like you can tell it to me.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Alright, I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. There we go. That's better. All right. What else we got in here? Catapult.
It's a little catapult. It looks like a toy. I don't need them. A nice arsenal. There's no ammo. I need something to test the range of this mini catapult.
Hey, Pro Digger, how's it going? That's a powerful door. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Hello, dude. Peace be with you. May I help you somehow?
I like the selection of instruments in this shop.
Thanks, dude. It took years to stock up so much choice, to test every single instrument to make it harmoniously perfect.
As in an orchestra where everything must be perfect?
No, dude. No. I'm talking about harmony, with a capital H. Each instrument has a sound that connects your inner self with the motion of the universe, making you a part of the whole.
And did you find the formula for this harmony?
Dude, for more than 50 years, I've experienced things that link me with the harmony of the universe. But the path is still long, and there's still a lot to try.
That's not hard to believe. I'd be curious to know what kind of experiments you conducted.
Better not ask certain things, dude.
In this case, I agree. Is smoking allowed in this shop?
Dude, who do you take me for? I could never go against the law and cause harm.
It looks like you're smoking.
No, dude, this is the new frontier. Electronic cigarettes.
I see. Aromatized flavor?
Yeah, you could say that. An aroma that expands your mind to connect you with the whole.
I'm content. I don't want to investigate further. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I wish you peace and love.
It's not the right moment to think about buying an instrument. Besides, after spending my last savings at Dead Man Inn, I'm broke. It looks like the owner loves to collect all kinds of instruments. I can see a charango and ukulele and many others that I can't recognize. It seems to me these are rare pieces. Hey, there are other musical instruments here too, but these seem to be more ancient. It seems antique. Very antique. There's an inscription. Walter Fly, 1712. Walter Fly is the same name that my father wrote in his letter found in the library. Don't touch. Property of the Fly family.
You mean don't touch the note, right?
It looks like a mechanical piano. I can't play it. To make it work, a musical roll would be necessary. I never saw one so old, though. There's an engraving. Walter Fly, 1712. I already have a lot of things in my bag. A musical triangle. There's a plate here too, property of Walter Fly. Usually there's a metallic stick to make it play, but I can't see that here. I need something else to make it vibrate.
Giggity.
It's a bow, but it's so old that the hair is worn out. I'll take it with me. If I can find a way to replace the hair, I can use the cello. A tuning fork can always come in handy. Excuse me, can I take that tuning fork?
Sure. It's available to customers to find harmony.
Thanks.
All right. Let's try.
It should work. What was that? There's a hideout in the wall. The opening mechanism seems to have activated with the sound of the instrument. The opening is too narrow. I can't even see what's inside. It's already working. There's no need to waste coins. A few
Make some
pumice
pebbles.
stone pebbles could come in handy. They're light but resistant. I hope they grew spontaneously. It's an old family crypt. It probably belongs to some rich family in Bonetown. Maintenance wasn't very helpful here. It's a tombstone. Surely among these must be one in remembrance of my father, but I don't know which one it is. After he vanished, we never came back here to Bonetown. It doesn't seem healthy to touch these things. Somebody transformed this crypt into some sort of house. It probably became a shelter for someone. I don't want to open a coffin. I hope it's just an exposition coffin that ended up here by mistake. This crypt seems more recent than the others.
What was with the cow? Big toolbox.
It doesn't seem like a good idea. Unless it's a matter of life and death, my tools cannot be touched.
I get it. Hello.
Hi, do you need something?
He seems very busy.
Good boy. I can see you're very perceptive.
Let's say it's one of my numerous gifts, in addition to...
I'll stop you right there. I already said you're very perceptive, and you noticed that I'm very busy. What does that tell you?
That you need my help?
Absolutely. Here's what I need now. Could you please talk to me as little as possible? At least until I'm finished with this job?
Is it a long job?
You have no idea.
Goodbye.
Bye.
It's an old engine, but there's no gasoline. Load and shoot. It seems to be an old machine for throwing baseballs. I can't take an entire window. It's a beautiful stained glass window. From here I can't see it clearly. Maybe by entering the church it would be more visible. I think it depicts a village with a boat getting closer. A ship is depicted. Maybe it's some sort of allegory.
Maybe.
Maybe it could come in handy. And in the end, a flourishing city. Interesting. Seeing such a huge ship represented on a big stained glass window is not something you see every day. I wonder from which religious source the master glassmaker took inspiration. It's accurate in every detail. Actually, now that I'm looking at it carefully, on one of the sails there are even some micro-inscriptions. It's a shame I can't get any closer. The story seems to continue. The boat is about to reach a safe haven. And in the end, a flourishing city. Good morning, Father.
Good morning, son.
I was admiring the beauty of this church.
You're right. It's a real piece of art. It dates back a few centuries and is all thanks to an ancestor of mine. After he traveled across the ocean, he settled here in Bone Town. Seeing the condition of the village, he wanted to build a place of comfort for wayward souls at all costs.
What was the name of your ancestor?
Edward Drake, the first minister of the Bone Town community, upstanding guide of Bone Town's people, unblemished pastor of the community.
Yes, Father, I think I understand.
This calling has been handed down from one generation to another, right up to today.
Can you tell me anything more about Edward Drake?
My ancestor? First minister of the Bone Town community, upstanding guide of the Bone Town's people, unblemished pastor of the community.
Yes, that one.
Before coming here to Bone Town, it is said he was a skilled glassmaker. All the stained glass windows of the church are his handiwork, created by his powerful hand, fused with the sacred fire of faith, designed with the ecstasy of supreme adoration.
Yes, really beautiful.
Yes, son. Every time I look at them, the fervor of the Drakes ignites within me once again.
This guy really likes his own voice.
How are things going for the Church of Bone Town?
Under my guidance, there's nothing to fear. Unfortunately, my flock has been reduced in number, but not in the strength of its faith. There are just a few troublemakers, a few kids who still don't have the patience to listen to my small 2-hour sermons, but nothing more.
How come Bone Town is in this condition?
Progress. Bone Town remained a pure city, like when my ancestor arrived and never adapted to progress, and the latest events surely didn't help.
What events?
There are weird stories going around. Some of the faithful said they've seen people, not locals, digging around the city. We warned the mayor, who went personally to the places in question, but he found them already abandoned. Rumors say these excavations caused a hydrogeological instability that's depleting Bone Town's water supply. Fortunately, the holes were filled in again to prevent any damage to our flourishing city tourism.
Are we talking about another city, perhaps?
Son, just the mere chance to visit our holy church should be good reason to come to Bone Town. Our little St. Peter.
Maybe you're exaggerating a little.
Plus, we have a lot of other pleasant attractions. Here in Bone Town, we don't lack anything. Library, museum, amusement park, one of the most famous inns of the area.
I wish I knew that earlier. I'm staying at the Dead Man Inn.
That one, precisely. Everybody envies us for it.
Who exactly envies the Dead Man Inn?
Come again, son?
Nothing, Father. I was just reflecting on my luck. What's the reason, in your opinion, for these illegal excavations?
Rumors say that under Bone Town there are veins of precious materials, and that the excavations were tests conducted by companies without city approval. The mayor would never let the city be disfigured.
What materials might be in Bone Town's subsoil?
Some fantasize about golden veins. Others say it's copper or tin. I think there is nothing at all, or they would have surely realized it when they built the city. There's been no findings of any precious materials, either today or in the past. In doubt, the mayor may put some signs around that forbid excavations in all areas adjoining the town.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, son.
Alright, time to loot the room. Oh, there's nothing in here. Interesting.
I don't have my driver's license yet. Let's try and hope it still works. There's a super promotion. With a single shot, you'll see yourself in your current form, in the guise of a pirate, and, brand new option, in the guise of a drunk pirate. All offered by the Lafitte Amusement Park. The things you do to attract customers. Woo! I better go out and recover the posters. I'm curious to admire the different versions of myself. Great. 3 posters of me.
Woo!
I wouldn't say I'm exactly photogenic, but the flash didn't exactly help either. I could stand in line waiting for someone to show up, or I could spend my time any other way. There's something shiny on the roof. Maybe it's the only thing worth taking from this place. My arms are not long enough. Maybe now they will come in handy.
Wow. That was amazing.
Got it.
Huh.
It's not a chimney. It looks more like a roll with a series of engravings on it. I don't think I still need these bulky tongs. I can't force it. It still looks very sturdy. There are still some prizes inside. I wonder how it works. It's an old attraction. You must strongly pound the base to make the weight go up the vertical rail so that it strikes the bell and makes it ring. Let's try this one. No way. The weight doesn't move an inch. There must be another way to make the bell ring. It's the poster used to sponsor the carousel next door. Come to measure your strength. Make the bell ring. Only Rock Lafitte, the strongest man in the world, has done it. Rock Lafitte. It seems to me that he was on the list my father left me. I gather he was the once in Bone Town, He was the only one who had the technical knowledge to build an amusement park from scratch. The life aboard the ship must have trained him a lot. I can believe he was the only one to make the bell ring. You surely need a considerable amount of strength. I think these are the remains of the amazing Lafitte amusement park. It seems it has been turned into the town dump over time. I'm quite sure it's a felony to remove public material, and I can't see why I should do that. I think they're installing the new gutters on these roofs, too. It's the seagull's nest. I can see many little objects inside that it surely picked up around Bonetown. Wait a minute. I believe I see a coin. I think I could find a use for it. I can't take anything until the seagull goes away.
Definitely safe bridge.
Better
Alright,
not
cool.
remove any pieces. I'd risk compromising its safety.
Yep, it got me across once.
It's the opening to access the actual lighthouse. It's the old lighthouse of Bonetown. It must be nearly identical to what it was originally. Then some piece was added during subsequent maintenance, but I guess its basic function remained unchanged. I think this is the best possible way to use these matches. Once you used a certain kind of oil to light a fire. From the condition of the lighthouse, I'd say it's very likely there's still some left. I'm not risking burning anything, and I'm isolated from other houses. Great,
Boom.
but it's better to close the opening, or I'll risk that flame burning out. Good job. I don't really know how it works. There should be some instructions somewhere. 1699. The light will guide you. I guess it's praise for the job this lighthouse had to do. I wonder how many ships it helped dock safely. There's also a list of things to do. 1. Start. 2. Steer. It doesn't seem difficult. Okay, let's try. It's practically impossible if you don't have any coordinates. There's no recognizable place mentioned as reference for where to aim the lighthouse. Here, horsey. It doesn't seem to be very cooperative. Maybe...
Alright, let's see. Got the thing for the drugstore.
It's closed. The owner has put up a notice. I'll be right back, thanks. He actually told me he was going to the warehouse. I better try later. The roll should go here. Another noise. The hideout opened a little bit more.
But not enough?
A bit better. I can just glimpse something. Maybe a piece of paper? The crack is still too narrow. I can't stick my hand inside. This sign invites me to the marriage. It says, "New arrival. Try it."
Don't worry. It's an irresistible attraction to the kids.
Hmm.
I'm gonna tidy up. I hope it won't take too long.
Ah, okay, so that's what I do. Alright.
It doesn't work like that. It's the same printer we use at school. Here on the side is a multi-format reader. It can read USB sticks, CDs, etc., and it's also a scanner to read data directly from images. Once all the info has been inserted into the reader, it'll be converted into data, which will be passed on to the printer. Only then will it be ready to begin operating.
Okay. So let's go back.
Here are the pics I took with the Polaroid. Now that the photographic film is over, I don't need that Polaroid anymore. I don't think there are any specialist photography shops here in Bonetown. It should work. The photos surely have to be inserted here. Very well. A perfect plastic copy of the gun photographed in the shop. This printer model uses materials that faithfully reproduce the original objects by starting from simple photos. This replica could surely come in handy.
Alright, let's Indiana Jones it.
Finally, let's see if there's a clue. Hopefully it's not loaded. Very good. Inside the barrel was a piece of the map. Roger's piece. I don't feel at ease with a real weapon in my pocket. I'd rather not take it with me. But I can't get rid of it here or the owner would get suspicious. I'd better leave it somewhere outside of the store.
Right.
Looks like a good spot here. Now it seems much less aggressive.
I think he'll notice.
I hope I don't have to compete in some strange medieval tournament. I don't want to ruin it. It doesn't work.
I haven't been to the restaurant yet.
Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome to the One-Eyed Jack of the Bellamy family.
I glimpsed the menu outside the club. What's your specialty?
Chicken, kid. Delicious, free-range chicken.
Only chicken?
Absolutely, kid. Chicken is our main ingredient. Healthy, genuine, and it's not fattening, so you can eat as much as you want. We Bellamys have invented more than 100 recipes to serve it with.
A diverse menu, then. Are you a great-grandson of Eddie Bellamy?
Absolutely, kid. My great-great-great-great-grandfather was the best cook of the 7 seas. He was the one who founded the first One-Eyed Jack, and since then we've come a long way.
Do you mean that you've expanded all over the world?
Absolutely not. Bonetown has always been the one and only place where you can taste one of our delicacies.
Do you mean that you've introduced new original recipes?
Oh, absolutely not. Nobody can improve Grandfather Eddie's recipes. A distant cousin tried to do that, starting his own company, the Mix something. But I haven't heard about it since, so I don't think he had our luck.
Surely not your luck, yeah. I don't get it, but it's okay anyway. I've seen that all through Bonetown there are new gutters.
Yes. The mayor decided to invest the city's money that way. It's not a bad idea. By channeling the rainwater, the city will ensure some drinkable water.
The mayor?
Yes, Steve Bonnet. He's the man who's been taking care of the city for countless years. Luckily, he's in charge, or Bonetown would already be a ghost city.
How's business going?
Money is not important to the Bellamys. Our forefather, Eddie Bellamy, left us a little nest egg to pursue our family mission.
And what would that be?
Find the chosen one.
The chosen one.
What do you mean by chosen one?
The family legend says that Eddie Bellamy, progenitor of the Bellamys, learned every recipe on how to cook chicken. But his efforts in the kitchen seemed not to be appreciated by customers, who considered his recipes mere common chicken, bumpkins. So he created the only meal that was not chicken-based, the Bellamy cookie. The patrons seemed to be thrilled by the extraordinary innovation, But Eddie, given the indifference his cooking received before that, imposed one condition. Only the chosen one could taste the cookie from the Bellamy recipe. And since then, from generation to generation, the search has kept going.
Which cookie are we talking about?
The sacred cookie, contained in that glass case, built to keep its fragrance intact.
How long has it been in that case?
Since the day it was baked by Eddie Bellamy. And according to legend, it seems Eddie found a recipe for a pastry that could last for centuries without losing its fragrance.
Do you mean that in all these years, nobody was able to earn the right?
Absolutely not. That is the original cookie. Never has another one been baked.
How can you recognize the chosen one?
That'll be the only one who can pass the test.
What test?
The menu, kid. The menu. Only the worthy will listen to the entire menu without blinking an eye. And at that point, he'll have earned the cookie, along with honor and fame.
Very epic. Where does the test take place?
At the table. When you feel ready, take your seat, and we'll see if you might be the chosen one. But don't get your hopes up. We're extremely selective.
Can you repeat what the test is about?
Sure, we'll be...
Thanks, and goodbye.
Thanks to you, and enjoy your stay in Bone Town.
Hey, Steffi, how's it going?
I see you want to prove yourself. When you're ready, call me. I'll be right there.
I feel ready.
Very well, I'm coming. Let's begin the test. We'll soon know if you're the chosen one or just another common person. Our menu includes mushroom chicken, algae chicken, egg chicken, spicy chicken, sweet corn chicken, pepper chicken, olive chicken, chicken and vinegar, blah blah, chicken, blah blah blah, free range, blah 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 blah, herb crusted, blah blah blah.
And down he goes.
Hey kid, the test is over. I'm sorry. I thought you were different from the others. For now, you're not the chosen one.
Yep,
And yet I was
see
sure
that.
I'd be the one. It seems like the propeller of an old vessel. There's also some writing. Flying Dutchman. I don't think it's that Flying Dutchman. I'd say it's scary.
It's my handiwork. It seemed to me that the subject respected all the classical canons.
Maybe they're not the same canons I studied at school.
It's one of the few pieces left by Tom Rayleigh. Ancient sources said that he was a prodigy in cartography drawing, but everything has been lost.
I understand.
Be if you wanted. Ah.
Nice. Now I have 2 pieces of the map. One-Eyed Jack Restaurant. The name is catchy, the sign much less so. I don't know what's worse, the chicken wings used as bones at the sides of the skull, or the general state of the sign. Everything here is going to the dogs. I wonder what happened to the city. It wasn't always like this. If I had to guess, there are more than 100 chicken dishes. I may be wrong, but I think the owner specializes in cooking chicken every possible way. Better not go inside. If How are things going here in Bonetown?
The bigger problem seems to be our water at the moment. Our water resources are drying up. I'm investing my remaining finances and the last of the city's funds to get it back to its former state.
You really care a lot about Bonetown.
I was born and raised here. I don't want it to stay like this.
See you later.
Come back whenever you want. You'll always find me here.
Thanks. The upper floor seems to be condemned. What could I do with a cart with a couple of wheels missing? It doesn't seem to be in good condition. It says, amusement park entrance to the right, main road to the left, lighthouse straight ahead.
Okay, so that's the lighthouse. That's a different road that I can't access.
It's an old attraction. You must strongly pound the bass to make the weight go up the vertical rail so that it strikes the bell and makes it ring.
Giggity. That's all I gotta say about that. Geekity. Oh, look, Steffi's on Twitch now. Gotcha.
Somebody transformed it probably... It doesn't seem... I hope it's just an expo... It's a box full of tools.
No, now you're blooping.
It's a box full of tools. He seems very busy with that car.
How much of a delay? I mean, there's always going to be a delay.
He seems very busy.
Good boy.
Let's say it's one that you need to talk to someone?
Maybe. So now I have to tell you something very important. Could you please talk to me as little as possible?
Oh,
at least until I'm
jeez.
finished with this job?
Is it a long job?
You have no idea.
It's weird. It says everything's good. Which is weird, because usually it doesn't say it's good. Try refreshing the page. Okay, well, it went through pretty quickly that time. Only thing I can recommend is trying to refresh the page. Ah, good, 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 good.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm horrible at singing that song.
It's the public library of Bonetown. I never imagined it would have survived, given the state of the town. They seem like exact replicas of silver, gold, and platinum records. Better not. How come the instruments in the back room are not on display?
For the harmony of things, dude. Those instruments must be in that room. If I move them, I'd change the order of the things, and it wouldn't be good at all.
Really?
Actually, no, they can't be sold. One of my great-great-grandfathers put a clause on that action. The Flies can sell all instruments, except for those that belong to our progenitor. I think it's a sign of respect for the legacy he left us. If I sell them, I'd be going against the will of my ancestors, and I'd ruin the harmony. Dude, harmony is important.
I have no doubt. It seems something is missing from the piano in the back room.
Dude, you have sharp eyes. That is one of the first mechanical pianos. It works with a specific roll that makes the melody start.
Can you tell me where I can find a roll?
Impossible. I know there was only one for that model, but it was lost long before I was even born. My father told me that his grandfather loaned it to someone. For what reason, I don't know. And then it was never given back. I have no idea where it might have ended up.
Thanks anyway. Have you ever heard of Walter Fly?
I'm thinking, dude. I think he's a singer from the 60s? No, wait. Dude, inspiration? It's just about to come. It's been a while since I heard that name. Walter Fly was a distant relative of mine. My third or fourth something or other. If I recall correctly, in the back room is a mechanical piano that belonged to him. Dude, he was like a musical genius. A sort of Beethoven of his age. Just that he didn't play in big theaters, only on transport vessels, or so I recall. Plus, he was very good at mechanics. Dude, he knew how to put things in harmony.
What do you mean?
The harmony between music and mechanics. Everything revolves around harmony, dude. In the back room, there are still instruments at the time Walter Fly came here to Bonetown.
I understand.
You understand what? Jeez.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I wish you peace and love.
Alright, what about the blacksmith? I don't know if he'll Will he fix this?
Better not.
Hmm.
It's a box full of tools.
Oh my god. What is in that car?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Is the armory guy back? Pretty sure he is. He is not.
Sorry, can I take these scissors?
It seems to me it's the only thing suitable for you in this shop. Round edges for greater security. Go ahead and take them. And don't forget to advertise Roger's Weapon Shop.
Thank you.
Okay. Pretty sure I
don't
can't
think
do
that
that.
would work.
Yeah.
How come all the gutters in Bonetown are new?
In the last few years, we started having issues with the water network. It seems that the underground spring from which Bonetown drew its water is drying up. Then the mayor, to try and resolve the problem, decided to pay for this intervention out of his own pocket. This way, not a single drop of rainwater is wasted, and the city manages to keep going.
Who's the mayor of Bonetown?
The evergreen Steve Bonnet.
You mean that Steve Bonnet?
Here in Bonetown, there's always been only one Steve Bonnet.
I still remember him. When I was little, I called him Uncle. He's always been a well-liked person, and he was a great friend of my father.
Yes, that's him. He must deal with a lot of trouble, but he never loses heart. Sometimes I wonder why he bothers. But it's thanks to him that our city can claim such an effective collection system for the rainwater.
I'd like to go say hello to him. After what happened to my father, we cut all ties with Bonetown. Just another way to try not to be haunted by the memories.
You can find him at the town hall for sure. It's basically his second home.
Thank you.
Did we hit the 2-hour mark? Yep, 2-hour, 4-minute mark. The Twitch stream resets.
I get it.
Good.
Thanks, and goodbye.
I need to put a ticket in for that. If it's not doing it on YouTube.
Wow, there are some.
It's
extremely
just something
rare
I've been
first
dealing
editions
with
here.
for a very long time. It's specifically just me.
At first glance, there seem to be different tomes, some of which have considerable value too. I wonder why they're out here. Menu of the day: chicken, or chicken and salad, or chicken salad and cheese. While for drinks, there's only grog. Thanks, and goodbye.
Thanks to you, and enjoy your stay in Bone Town.
Hmm. Alright. I think we're at a good stopping point. We've got quite a bit going on. So, and I'm starting to feel just a bit sleepy. So we will revisit this next week on Friday. We're gonna continue. You have a good night, Steffi. We're gonna continue with Universe for Sale on Tuesday. But everybody, have a good night.